You guys know what time it is. Back with the Draft League content, DBA Week 3. Let's get into it. The Draft League where I don't play a single game, but I have to build a team, and hopefully the person who's using my team has enough skill to win me the week. But yeah, we made the video a couple days ago, last week, whenever this video gets uploaded anyway. Yeah, so if you guys want to check out that first one, link will be in the description, or I'll have a card somewhere on the screen. Basically just explains the whole concept about this draft league that I'm in called the DBA, where there's two categories that you can be put into. Either you're a battler, where you receive teams, or you're a coach, which basically requires you to build the teams that the battler will use, so you don't actually end up using your draft in this tournament whatsoever. But yeah, we're into week 3 now, and we ended the last video 2-0 in DBA right now, and yeah, week 3 game has just come out. To be honest, I've already seen the game, but again, it's time for the replay analysis. You get me? Trying to see what my battler was doing. But yeah, if you guys enjoy the draft league content, subscribe to the channel for more of that content. There's a lot of stuff happening this year, so if you're all along for the ride, you'll be enjoying the best content you can get. But yeah, let's go over the matchup. How I was going into this week, and then the team that I ended up with, and then how the game goes. So yeah, let's go into that quickly. So my opponent for week 3 was Brecker over here. So there's my draft. We've gone over the draft. I was drafted on vibes. Very, very top heavy draft. A lot of high point Pokemon, and then we have the less than 5-point goons, or even less than 3-point goons, which surprisingly I've been putting in a decent amount of work. Not you yet, Bastiodon, your time will come. But Gloom and Kadabra, these guys are doing the work. But yeah, first thing I noticed about Brecker's draft is obviously he has a very annoying team. Like straight away I just saw some of these Pokemon, I was like, damn, I really have to match up into this guy? Like really? Like Regieleki, when my ground types can, and like Regieleki with Terra as well, like against my ground types, you can easily just cuck all of them with like Terra Ice or Terra Grass. I was more thinking about Terra Ice because gets great Tusk, but like now that I think about it in hindsight, Terra Grass just Oku's Quagsire completely. So you have to account for every single ground type, and both Great Tusk and Quagsire weak to Grass. But yeah, Regieleki, very annoying Pokemon to handle. I really have to think about what I bring into that matchup. Dondozo 2, a game where Dragonite actually isn't going to be doing anything because Dondozo has Unaware, so ignores Dragon Dance boost. So I was just like, damn, my normal win con in every other circumstance suddenly can't do anything because of Unaware. And like you see the rest of his team, like Dragonite actually just packs up everyone else. Like you EQ the Regieleki and Coco, you dual wing beat the Venusaur, you fire punch the Fortress. Like I could handle every single Pokemon on his team with Dragonite, but that Dondozo is going to be coming 100%. So it's going to be a very tough time. Anything else that caught my view? Well, it's really just the top 6, to be honest. Like these guys are just kind of jarring. Like I wasn't really worried about Raichu. Like he's not his Terra Captain, and like I could find a way to just beat it. Like I wasn't really worried about Raichu. Like Regieleki was more of an issue because Terastallization gives that thing the coverage that it always needed, and stuff like that. But yeah, Mega Venusaur is also kind of annoying. Like I still have Iron Bundle at the end of the day. Like his team doesn't really handle Iron Bundle well, but if Venusaur Mega Evolves, then Thick Fat is nullifying his ice weakness. So and then Iron Bundle just gets overcooked by like a Giga Drain or something. So I was very worried about that going into the matchup. But still, I decided Iron Bundle looks good. Dragonite is still Dragonite. Like if I somehow get rid of Dondozo, which Iron Bundle can handle pretty efficiently, we're still having a decent game on our hands. And yeah, let's just go into the team and see what we came up with, innit? So here's the team that I've decided to bring for week 3, and as you can see, the 6 that I decided to bring were Iron Bundle, Dragonite, Great Tusk, Gloom, Clefable, and Mega Aggron. Now we're going to go over this one by one. Well, these top 2 are pretty obvious. Like there's no reason why I should never bring Iron Bundle versus this sort of squad where Water Ice plus Freeze Dry just kills everything. There's no reason for me not to. But the thing is, I did not want to go choice specs because I didn't want to be locked into a move. I wanted to switch up moves because at the end of the day, Water Ice coverage is still resisted by water types, and like he still has the water and grass type. Like it would have to be more prediction reliant for my battler. Like I'm trying to make their job as easy as possible. So obviously going life orb still increases iron bundles damage output, and like you can swap moves. And the funny thing is as well is that he has Tafu Koko, and Iron Bundle's a future Cork Drive mon, so obviously you get a speed boost in electric terrain, which obviously does a lot for me because I'm able to outspeed Reggieleki, which would outspeed everything on my team like pretty easily. But yeah, Dragonite has also come. I decided to go Terra Ground. Why did I go Terra Ground again? It was to block like electric attacks, I guess. And obviously, if I Terra Ground, I lose my quad weakness to Ice. If like Reggieleki went Terra Ice and multi-scale is up, I'd obviously tank that and then just like Oko the Reggieleki at +1. So that's why I brought Terra Ground Dragonite. We decided to go Great Tusk, max special defense assault vest. Like Reggieleki had that much of a chokehold on my team, so I needed a ground type that would like I still need a ground type. Even though Gloom is electric resist, you don't start Volt Switch and then you give him momentum to bring in something like Dondozo or Tapu Koko or whatever. So that's why I had to go Great Tusk here. Assault Vest, like I've never actually ran Assault Vest Great Tusk with like maximum Spadef EVs, but in the times like this in draft, you kind of just have to do things that you wouldn't normally run on ladder or OU tournaments and whatnot. But yeah, Gloom, Gloom handles. What did Gloom handle? I guess Pinsir, but again, is my secondary, electric answer. We have modest nature because Grass Knot hits Dondozo and always gets the 2-hit KO, so that's why we went modest instead of a defense boost in nature. But yeah, Gloom obviously is handling Dondozo pretty efficiently, which was its goal because it could just settle cursive iron bundles there, then life gets a bit harder. And then we have Clefable, the last two were basically I couldn't bring anything else realistically. Like Moltres into 2 electrics, like it does well versus Venusaur, yes, but everything else just like Moltres just gets folded. So I wasn't gonna bring Moltres. Quagsire as well wasn't the ground type I needed to bring this game. Kadabra as well had no business in this game, like it just wasn't really doing anything. Like the sad reality is that Kadabra lacks coverage to hit steel types, and like even though Fortress isn't a mon that is known for his massive special defense stat, just not being able to hit that mon for at least neutral with any of your moves other than like Shadow Ball, I suppose, is just kind of annoying, so I didn't bring it either. And then Bastiodon, it is Bastiodon. Like I'm trying to Terra my Dragonite, and Bastiodon's defensive type and still like sucks if I don't Terra it. But yeah, Clef obviously comes here, and I really had to think about what set I was going to bring for Clef because realistically, like, still isn't one that really does much in the face of Mega Venusaur and things like Fortress. So I had to go Calm Mind Stored Power, which would obviously be able to 1v1 Mega Venusaur and then, like beat it up with Stored Power. Also, the same applies to Dondozo. Like, Dondozo may ignore the special attack boost, but does not ignore the, base power increase of, Stored Power. So I was thinking that I could potentially 1v1 that. And then Aggron, I guess it's here for rocks. Like, Aggron is just there because everything else is just worse than Aggron. But yeah, that is it for the team, and then I'll let you guys see the battle real shortly. Alright guys, here's the replay. Now, they basically brought their top 6. Like, they didn't bring anything else, and to be fair, I don't blame them. Like, Dragalge wasn't doing anything with Iron Bundle or Dragonite in the picture. I mean, Raichu could have been nice here, like, against Raichu would have been, like, freaking excellent here, actually, but, it still didn't come either. Like, Mega Aggron still somewhat handles that. Like, it has enough special bulk to, handle Raichu, and then you just Oko with, like, an Earthquake or something, so, I can kind of understand them not bring that either. And then Aurorus and Magmar were just useless goons. I mean, Magmar would have kind of done decent, I suppose. Like, I don't know how well Great Tusk would have like handled it with an Assault Vest, but like Magmar didn't come either because it's an NFE mon at the end of the day. Like, the top 6 are just too good for him. But yeah, looking at this in the place of my battler, I wouldn't even know what to even lead off with in this situation. Like, it's a very annoying matchup. Like, I could just say lead bundle and just start clicking buttons straight away. Like, realistically, if you predict right, something like is getting to it KO'd. But in terms of the opponent, potentially what they could lead off with is obviously like Regieleki or whatever. Like, Regieleki would also just look pretty nice, but you could Terra early and then try and catch out Great Tusk or whatever. But let's see how this replay actually plays out, yeah. But so they led off with Great Tusk and they led off with Lando, but not the best lead. But I am Ice Spinner on this Great Tusk, which would still do good damage to Landorus at -1. So so they swap out into Bundle. They decide to go Bundle on the Psychic, and damn, like they decided to go physical special Landorus T, which honestly isn't a meme, seeing how Landorus T has like 105 special attack, so you can't really fault it. It still is able to 2-hit KO Iron Bundle, which shouldn't be too much of an achievement. It has like 56 HP and 60 per death, but still, it's just to say Landorus T has a special attack stat. But yeah, Psychic does a lot of damage. They double into Clefairy. I would have just raw clicked like Ice Beam even. Like what really was taking a hit? Like, I guess you don't want to chip Iron Bundle down with the life of damage, but if you click like Hydro there, and like they didn't go Venusaur, Fortress was pretty much down to Sturdy at that point, and then you'll be a mon down there'll be a mon down very quickly. But either way, like there's nothing wrong with doubling into Clefairy. But I guess, though, to be fair, they doubled into Clefairy. What were you expecting to come in exactly? Like, Venusaur's the water switching, but at the same time, Clef doesn't beat that 1v1, so it is confusing to see how Clef comes out here, but oh well, I suppose. And they do reveal Okaberry Fortress, which is a pretty decent tech because you're able to avoid the Oko and get out rocks, so that's kind of nice. Now, they CM here, which obviously makes kind of sense, like there was nothing else you really could have done, but down Dondozo comes out and obviously Unaware is activated, so they go on to Gloom here. And Dondozo just starts cursing. I'm just like, damn. My Gloom is ready for Dondozo. Don't get it twisted. It's ready. Now, they at least see the Venusaur switching. And I was just like, there isn't really much you could have really done there. Like, staying in with Gloom, like, rocks are up. You don't really want Bundle to, like take damage at this point. Like, it is one of your win cons here. So like Gloom decides to strength out the Mega Venusaur and recovers all of his HP back. But this is a 1v1 situation where none of these guys are really going down. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's just like Synthesis has like 8 PP, but it's not like Gloom is gonna be forcing Mega Venusaur to Synthesis in the first place. But now Dragonite comes in and on the Earth Power, I don't know if they predicted Earth Power or they just thought that I might as well just try and get D-Knight in, maybe get some chip damage or not. But it's nice that they came in on the Earth Power, since Multiscale is still around. So they go on to Landorus T here, and they do a Wing Beat Mist, which kind of sucks. It would have been nice to have some chip on that, but that is the game that we play. But U-turn, and Landorus is faster than this Dragonite, and Coco comes back in as they decide to DD the battler. So EQ is a Shocker Berry, so they're just running berry reducing damage reduction berries here, which actually makes sense. Like, trying to get Coco not getting Oko'd by like some random Great Tusk Earthquake. Don't know if that helps against Headlong Rush if I was actually any attack investment, but since I was like 0 attack, I guess Coco probably lived Headlong or EQ or whatever. But yeah, they go on to Dondozo here, which obviously takes like 0 from Dragonite because it's like Fizz Death. But yeah, Aggron comes in and they decide to Avalanche, which I was not expecting. Or I'm acting like I'm playing, but yeah, Avalanche is interesting, I must say. Like, that is not doing any damage to Aggron. Venusaur comes back in and they Mega and get on rocks, which is honestly a good start. Getting some chip on Fortress, Coco. Gloom comes in on Earth Power, doesn't really take anything because it's Gloom at the end of the day. Like, it's Eviolite, it's very bulky. But they strengths out to recover their HP, and Great Tusk comes in. Like, Fortress could just start spinning, which it does, and spin is pretty free on Great Tusk's side as well, so I'll probably spin as well. But yeah, spin comes in and there's no more hazards on either side of the field. Now they swap on to Clefable there, and I guess they don't want to reveal Ice Spinner yet, which I don't blame them for. But Clef takes like 0 from Landorus Psychic, and this Clef is giving them some issues because like, they don't really break it too efficiently, and now it has like Stored Power starts at 20 base power and gets 20 boost for every stat boost, so that's 40 from special attack and 40 from special defense. So Stored Power is at 120 base power, does some decent chip to Dondozo, but it is not enough, unfortunately. They did go for the body press, which does like 0 damage, which I don't really blame them for. But they go for Avalanche, no damage either. Like, Clef could actually just 1v1 this Dondozo right now, but they decide to go on to Gloom or on the Avalanche. That doesn't really do any damage. And I guess they could just start trying to kill this thing as they protect on the Sludge Bomb. Now, I don't know why Sludge Bomb I mean, they don't really make it any bad plays. It's just like there's not much else you can really do versus Dondozo. Like, I guess you could have stayed in with Clef and continued like boosting. If you got to +6, eventually Dondozo's getting to it cured, and then you kind of just 1v1 everything. Like, Clef could have realistically just won the game from there. I guess Class Dondozo does 1v1 it if it gets enough attack boost, but like is a non-issue really. Like Clef definitely could have like kept going against Dondozo, but they could have caught on Cursed anyway. But Fortress comes back in on the Sludge Bomb immunity, of course, and they go back into Great Tusk, which is interesting. I mean, there's not much else you could have really gone back into, like, per se, like maybe Iron Bundle on the rocks, but Rapid Spin Crit is actually pretty good on Landorus because that's like no recovery. They go for the Sandsear Storm, and you know, it's not missing, so that's kind of annoying. But my battler knows to recover on this, and they go Dragonite on the Sandsear Storm because that's a ground type move. But yeah, Dragonite versus Dondozo is the same situation all over again. Like this, like Dragonite does not beat this in any circumstance. They go for another Avalanche. Now I kind of see why Avalanche is you know, ran, but it's not like Dragonite will ever stay in on this. But Gloom continues to strength sap, and Gloom's longevity is just, you know, staying in here. You know, strength sap didn't lose PP like other recovery moves did. So, you know, you have like 16 strength saps to use, and, you know, Gloom is just slowly recovering the health. But at this point, my battle is probably worrying, how the hell do I take out this, you know, Mega Venusaur? It's very annoying. But, you know, Dragonite comes in on Earth Power, and at this point, you just have to kind of start doing wing beating. Like, there's no point of setting out because Dondozo's in the back. And Sludge Bomb doesn't poison, which is actually pretty nice. So EQ comes out on the Landorus, and obviously he's immune. Dragonite manages to live the U-turn, which is actually pretty clutch. And you know, DD is a weird play, seeing how they could easily just go Dondozo at any point. Like clicking DD is never a play in any circumstance because there's an unaware mon in the back. Definitely could have gotten off some more damage on Dondozo dual wing beat. But Venusaur's low. You can go Dragonite on the Synthesis, which is actually a pretty good play, to be fair. And I guess they're anticipating Landorus T to come out. I mean, that double's fine, but it doesn't really give you anything. Focus Blast misses on Great Tusk. Would have not done that much damage, to be fair, on Assault Vest. But Headlong Rush does come out. Definitely would have clicked Knockoff here. Like, Knockoff's the freest move in the game. Definitely could have knocked off this thing's leftovers. Would have been pretty convenient. But yeah, Coco comes in on Mega Aggron as we get our rocks again, which is actually still pretty clutch for us, to be fair. T-Ball does come out on Clef. It doesn't do enough to really threaten Clef, like you can just recover this turn. And here comes the big bad Regieleki. At this point, like, Great Tusk is always a switch in. Like, you know, like Clef doesn't meet this 1v1, so you kind of just have to go your ground type or you go Gloom. Either way, like, either one works. So they do go Great Tusk and, you know, immunity. So they Terra Grass here, which frankly Terra Ice might have been better, but they do just knock off you know, the Regieleki, and Regieleki has no item, which is pretty cool. Like, I was just like, what? Like, no item? Like, I mean, I've seen this replay, but no item Regieleki is crazy, I'm not gonna lie. But so Gloom comes on Landorus T. Psychic does a good chunk, I'm not gonna lie. Psychic does 50, but you know, we just strengths up all that back, and they go Venusaur here, and I'm just like, Grassnot I guess would have hit Landorus for decent damage, but I don't know, like, you could try and make some more aggressive doubles with like Iron Bundle. Like, get an Iron Bundle in as soon as you can. Like, Ice Beam from this range probably like kills Mega Venusaur, so you should probably still try and, like, you know, get in a pretty good position with your breakers. But Dual Wing Beat comes out on Venusaur again and does 72%, which is all, like, you know, Dragonite needs to do. Keep Venusaur low, and then you can get an Iron Bundle again, and yeah, there's like zero switchings to Freeze Dry, like, whatsoever. So yeah, so Freeze Dry comes out there, Fortress is down, Landorus T comes out, and you know, they don't risk the potential Scarf, which I can respect, because Sandsear Storm does come out, does 25, and misses as well, so I don't even think it would have killed me anyway. Like, it did 25, like 30 is a mad roll if that killed. But yeah, Coco comes out, and you know, they click Brave Bird, which I wasn't they probably weren't even expecting, to be fair. But now Iron Bundle comes in, activates the Cork Drive, and you know, it's time to go Turbo on these guys, because now Iron Bundle just revenge kills everything. So, like, I was low-key like joking to myself when I was like thinking about this matchup that, you know, they low-key can't go electric terrain Coco, or else Iron Bundle just cork drives on like Shamones, all of them, you get me. But yeah, they still decide to go eat terrain, and obviously Iron Bundle really benefits from that. That's why I wanted to keep Lifeform, because you want to switch moves, and obviously Freeze Dry absolutely decimates Dondozo. So like his last two Pokemon just kind of just lose in general, and you know, Venusaur's low enough. U-turn gets the kill there, which would have been brazy if it didn't kill, but you know, I was Life Orb, and Iron Bundle does have a decent attack stat. But yeah, Acrobatics comes out on Gloom, doesn't really do anything, and you know, Sludge Bomb wins the game. So, other than like a potential 1 or 2 turns where, you know, clicking DD on Dragonite probably wasn't a play, especially on like Dondozo coming in, like it was just better to get damage on Mega Venusaur. The battler did play that pretty well, I'm not gonna lie, and it does seem like their record on the battler side is going pretty well as well. Like they're the only battler that's you know, undefeated right now. If I look at their standings, what the hell is their standings? I'm opening up some freaking Microsoft Excel like stuff at this point. Yeah, the battlers thing is here. Did I catch that on my screen? Yeah, you can't really see it unless I zoom out. I'll just zoom out a little bit, but yeah, as you can see, the guy that played with my team, Nomwed, he's currently, or they're currently 3-0. So yeah, the best battler got the best team. So what can you really say? Is just Toy Time King stocks, I suppose. But yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. We'll be back again next week with DBA week 4. Hopefully it goes well. I'm up against who am I up against this week? If I zoom in real quick, I'm up against this week's schedule. Week 4, I'm up against Metally Man. So let's see what their draft is saying. Metally's man's draft, yeah, kind of jarring. Like you have Storgoons and Corviknight, Finny, and Chansey, and then like you have Chiyu. So trying to find out what I'm going to do with Chiyu is going to be an effort, but the Forge, the Kingdom, we know what's up, so we're going to be able to, you know, get around those adversities. But yeah, thanks for watching this video, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.